My name is Eleanor. I'm 82 years old. And there's a name I don't say anymore. I don't say it out loud. I don't whisper it when I'm alone. I don't let it form fully in my mind if I can help it. Because saying it makes it real again. And I don't know if I can carry that twice. I live in a small house now, just me. It's quiet most of the time, the kind of quiet that used to bother me when I was younger, but now it feels like the only thing that fits. I used to have a bigger life, a louder one, a husband, 2 daughters, a garden I was proud of, friends who came over on Sundays. But time does what it does. People leave, people pass, people stop calling, and eventually you realize that the silence isn't something that happened to you, it's something you built. The name I don't say anymore belonged to my sister. Her name was Claire. We were close once, when we were girls, the kind of close where you don't need to explain yourself, where you finish each other's sentences without thinking about it. She was 2 years younger than me, softer, kinder, I think. I was the one who spoke up, the one who made decisions, the one everyone looked to when something needed to be done. And Claire was the one who stayed quiet. We grew up in a house that didn't allow for much tenderness. Our father was a hard man, not cruel exactly, just distant, cold in the way some men are when they don't know how to be anything else. Our mother tried. She really did, but she was tired, always tired. So Claire and I learned early that you didn't ask for too much. You didn't complain. You didn't cry where anyone could see you. You just kept going. When we were young, that was enough. We had each other. We shared a room, a bed even, for a few years when money was tight. We used to lie there at night and whisper about the lives we'd have one day. Claire wanted to be a teacher. She loved children. She was good with them, patient in a way I never was. I wanted to get out. I didn't care where. I just knew I didn't want to end up like our mother, stuck, small, fading into the wallpaper. We made promises to each other. We said we'd stay close, that no matter what happened, no matter who we married or where we went, we'd never let too much time pass without seeing each other. We said we'd tell each other everything. We said we'd never let anything come between us. I don't know when we started breaking those promises. It wasn't all at once. It never is. It was slow, so slow I didn't even notice it happening. I met my husband, Richard, when I was 23. He was older, steady. He had a good job, a nice smile, and he made me feel like I was someone worth choosing. I married him 6 months later. Claire was my maid of honor. She wore a pale blue dress and stood beside me at the altar, and I remember thinking how beautiful she looked, how happy I was that she was there. But I also remember feeling something else, something I didn't have a name for at the time, a kind of distance, like even though she was standing right next to me, she was already somewhere else. Richard and I moved 2 hours away after the wedding. It wasn't far, not really, but it was far enough that Sunday dinners became once a month, then every few months, then holidays only. Claire stayed in our hometown. She never left. She got a job at the elementary school, just like she said she would. She never married.
I used to ask her about it, if she was seeing anyone, if she was happy. She'd smile and say she was fine, and I believed her, because it was easier. The years went by. I had my daughters. I was busy. Richard worked long hours. I was tired all the time. There was always something that needed doing. Claire and I still talked on the phone, but the conversations got shorter, more surface. How are you? I'm good. You? Good. Busy. Yeah, me too. I told myself it was normal, that this was just what happened when you grew up, when you had your own life. I told myself we were still close, but the truth is, I stopped asking her real questions. I stopped listening for the things she wasn't saying. When I was 35, Claire called me one night, late, later than she usually called. I almost didn't answer. I was already in bed. Richard was asleep beside me. The girls had finally settled down. But something made me pick up. Her voice was quiet. Eleanor? Yeah, it's me. You okay? There was a pause, a long one. I wanted to talk to you. About what? Another pause. I don't know. Nothing, I guess. I miss you. I remember feeling something tighten in my chest. Not warmth, not relief. Guilt. Because I knew what she was really saying. She was lonely, and I didn't want to deal with it. I miss you too, I said. But it's late, Claire. Can I call you tomorrow? Yeah, of course. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. I'll call you tomorrow, okay? Okay. I didn't call her the next day. I meant to. I really did. But the girls woke up early. Richard needed something. There was laundry, groceries, a school meeting I'd forgotten about. And by the time I thought of it again, it was late. Too late to call. I told myself I'd do it the next day. But I didn't. A week went by, then 2, then a month, and by then it felt awkward, like too much time had passed, like calling her meant explaining why I hadn't called sooner. So I didn't. I told myself she understood, that she was fine, that if it was really important she would have called me back. But she didn't call me back, and I didn't call her. That was the first crack. I didn't see it then, but looking back now, I know. That was the moment something between us broke. Not all at once, but enough. The next time I saw her was Christmas, 4 months later. She looked smaller somehow, thinner, tired. I asked her if she was okay. She smiled and said she was fine, and I let it go, because I wanted to believe her. The years kept passing. I stayed busy. Claire stayed where she was. We saw each other less and less. Holidays, birthdays sometimes, funerals eventually. Our mother died when I was 42, our father 2 years later. Claire and I sat next to each other at both services. We held hands, we cried, but we didn't talk. Not really. I don't know when I stopped thinking of her as my best friend, when she became just my sister. Someone I loved, yes, but someone I didn't really know anymore. When I was 58, Richard had a heart attack. He survived, but it changed things. He retired early. We moved to a smaller house. I stopped working. For the first time in years, I had time. Time to breathe. Time to think. Time to realize how much I'd let slip away. I thought about calling Claire, really calling her, not just the polite surface calls we'd been having for years. I thought about driving to see her, sitting down with her, asking her how she really was. But I didn't, because I was afraid of what I'd find, afraid that too much time had passed, afraid that she'd look at me and see what I already knew, that I'd failed her. When I was 63, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. It was a nurse. Claire had been admitted to the hospital.